Sometimes when you're horsing around on TikTok, you capture something you'd least expect. Shannon Brianna claims to have caught a ghost on camera. The clip shows an animated avatar doing a little dance, excited to go to bed, but watch this picture in the mirror. A shadow crosses its path, making the otherwise innocent scene wholly unnerving. Was someone in the room with Shannon? Was that a shadow figure or just a regular old ghost? Whatever it is, not sure if I'd be so excited to go to bed after seeing a creepy shadow across my bedroom wall. John of a paranormal channel called Exploration Unknown investigates an abandoned farmhouse late at night. He and two other ghost hunters split up and then reconvened downstairs to discuss what they found, which was little more than some empty rooms and loose steps.
The floors upstairs are pretty spongy. I did it, but I doubt it.
After talking with Tim, John walks through the first floor, and at 11 minutes a shadow figure is caught on tape moving above him.
We've got the K2 meter over here in this window. We're getting things set up. Alright. And then in here, we got Josh on the porch.
It's not Josh because Josh is on the porch outside, and it's not Tim because they just had a conversation about how dangerous the floor was up there. And for some reason the legs remain covered in darkness, even though enough light hits the area to show the banister is brown, so there's a strong chance that this ghost video is real. A YouTuber named Godiva calls this a bizarre sighting caught on camera, and he's definitely right. The slow-moving shadow figure grows larger as it extends over this house. It's all caught on their home CCTV system, and it's a creepy moment for sure, but tell me if it's a formless shadow person or some sort of insect. YouTuber Ricky Velasquez captures this house being antisocial. Watch these china cabinet drawers. Here it is again, a little slower this time. The creepiest part of this footage is the shadow figure that moves towards the china cabinet. Keep your eyes peeled for it. Is that one of the creepiest things you've ever seen? I think this is one of the most authentic shadow figures I've witnessed. What do you think? Check your door. There might be someone hiding just around the corner. TikToker Do You Believe 2 shares this video of what looks like a figure lurking right outside their front door. On the other side of the frosted window panes, someone or something appears to be crouched down. Even the dogs are on high alert, and then it just disappears.
What the f***? Too scared to open my door.
Watch that again. The way it disapparates is beyond creepy. It doesn't look to me like the figure moved out of the way, but rather like it melted. Many in the comments are as perplexed as I am.
What the f***?
I have no idea what this thing is. My only advice would be, do not open that door. You don't want to give that thing an opening. Is this the work of the legendary magician Hashina, published in September of 2021? This scary video is tantalizing. Well, I don't have the full context. The short clip shows some men sitting around a room. Some of the men are chanting. What are they trying to do? Exorcise someone of a possession? I'm not sure. But as the group sits there, a creepy shadow figure emerges from behind a door's fogged glass window. It rises, and there doesn't seem to be enough room behind the door for something to remain otherwise hidden. What's going on here? Is it some sort of ritual? Don't close your eyes, because when you wake up tonight, this thing will be waiting for you. This bizarre home CCTV video reveals a scary moment when a mysterious shadow figure creeps across someone's front yard, moving down and to the right and running along the length of their fence. I guess it could be a bug flying by, but the way it comes from around the house and continues through the yard is the same path a person would take on foot. The person who took this video thinks it's probably a shadow figure, and after reviewing the paranormal evidence, I believe him. Bernie DMJ1 is deleting security cam videos off his Ring app when he sees something really bizarre walk across his driveway. Or rather, it's what he doesn't see. The presence of a reflection, but the lack of a body to cause it. A shadow passes in front of the car and yet no one can be seen. He says this is a ghost or a shadow figure sighting for certain, but I'd like to offer a non-paranormal explanation. Maybe this is the shadow of someone across the street. Have you ever gotten physically ill from watching paranormal footage? Redditor Minimum Session 4039 has, and this is the piece that made them sick.
Been doing this all morning and I don't have time for this today. Stop. Hey buddy, I got too much going on. You gotta cut it out. Oh, okay.
After setting the camera down, the activity only gets creepier.
I understand. You gotta go, or you guys want serious, or something with wherever you need to go. You gotta go. Calm down.
You can see a distinct shadow figure standing halfway down the stairs. This is clearly the culprit who's opening and shutting the door.
He's okay. Please, it's not today. Just holy cow.
There is definitely a ghost that likes mischief. I don't think this is at the level of burn the house down yet, but I would be keeping an eye on this playful phantom. Once you've investigated enough haunted places, you're bound to encounter a shadow figure or two. YouTuber Dennis from Dark Life faces off with one in this haunted house.
Yes, carefully.
Did you see it? There's definitely something there, but it's not there for long. After it crosses the room, it vanishes completely. I think this demon won't reveal its full nature. At this point, he is but a shadow. Delphi's paranormal channel is all about summoning spirits with Ouija boards and other scary stuff, so it should come as no surprise when her house becomes haunted. She wakes up to a wall of home security system alerts, 2 of which occurred right before 3 a.m. Somebody's been trying the back door. The house feels spooky at this hour, so she decides to make a video about it.
Can you stand behind me?
What is that black thing?
She turns around only to find it's still there.
I don't want to agitate it, but it's like it's trying to show itself when I get mad.
A shadow figure in the corner, or so she thinks. I must be losing my mind because I can see it too. Doubting its existence only makes the ghost more upset as she's about to find out.
Maybe it wasn't the ghost. Maybe somebody tried to break in. Maybe somebody ran out of supply. Stuff. That. What the
She runs into a well-lit room but can't resist one last look. Someone tell me what is sitting on the couch when she goes out to calm down her dog.
What are you looking at?
This might be a full-blown shadow figure apparition, head and all. This mysterious footage was captured on camera by videographer Daniel Hobbit back in 1989, shared by YouTube channel This Is The End. The mystery continues. Watch for the black mass. You can't miss it. Invited to a haunted home by a frightened couple who live there. Hobbit captured this strange shadow figure in one corner of the room.
Video in the home of a very frightened couple, convinced they were living with a disturbed...
While panning the camera, Hobbit also captured this in the mirror.
Hobbit even caught the apparition reflected in a mirror. This shot persuades many top researchers that we are witnessing a real...
According to the channel, the family moved from this home soon after. The footage has convinced some YouTubers of paranormal activity, and others have even experienced something similar. Given that this was recorded on VHS at a time where CGI would have been rare, I'm sold that this is real paranormal activity captured on camera. What do you think? This haunted exorcist house is no joke. The YouTube team, Dark Arts TV, ventures inside this dark place in an attempt to shed light on its truth.
Whoa, I just seen.
Whoa, what the?
You just seen that?
What was it?
It's a fucking anomaly. Just.
Yeah, what was that?
Did you see that just there?
It
It went
like,
a
like,
line and it went.
Well, I didn't see what they saw. There is a strange shadow anomaly that passes upward as they describe it. Here it is. Slow down. Watch carefully. It doesn't sync with their own movement, so I assume it's not their shadow. Is it a shadow figure? I think it could be. Or maybe it's the shadow of an evil entity. While exploring the paranormal museum known as Archive of the Afterlife, YouTube team Spirit Walk Paranormal encounters the afterlife in many forms. The first is a disembodied breath.
I just heard something from that corner.
Next, in the form of shadow figures.
2 shadow figures were captured behind me, coming from the corner where Charlie was placed. At the time of the encounter, I could feel something behind me, but had no idea what we caught until I was going through the evidence.
That was quite creepy, but I think it could have been the camera capturing a shift in the light. This next movement drives them to interrogate the spirits.
Who moved the white tiger? Stuffed animal. Who moved that? Can you do it again?
A strange anomaly also shows up in their footage.
Can you finish the rhythm?
I've never seen anything like this before, and it's definitely not a light flare or anything of the sort.
This one looks like a digital flaw to me, as does this next EVP. I do hear a sound here, but I can't make out what they're hearing. As they're doing an Estes session, they hear something again. And then this haunted doll has a message for them. I wouldn't hug this thing, not if you value your soul. A photographer pulls his car over just outside of the Dera War Fort in the Pakistani desert. He keeps his dash cam running as he adjusts his camera equipment to get a better shot. While he is busy snapping pictures, a mysterious shadowy figure hurries down the road. No other cars or people are around for miles. There's no reason for someone to be walking this great distance by themselves. They get towards the end of the road and quietly disappear, which leaves only 2 possible explanations. Either this was a real highway ghost encounter or just video editing. Donnie and Tony partner up to form a freaky ghost hunting channel called Daunton Paranormal. This time the pair are exploring a spooky cemetery known only as the Labyrinth. Exact location unknown. What they found in this haunted place is beyond words and without explanation. Watch the far doorway and you'll see it too. The thing that weirded them out for life.
Don't pull in. Come here.
As you can see, a tall figure blocks the top of the stairs. When they get too close, the peculiar shadow curiously disappears. After reviewing the evidence, Daunton Paranormal wonders if they've actually captured a real ghost on video. They didn't notice the creepy shadow until reviewing the tape much later. The shadow figure looks creepy and appears to have no natural source, at least not one from our side of this world. Tell me if you think this was a true sighting, and more importantly, if you would be brave enough to go up to that door and face whatever that was. I don't think I could ever return for a follow-up investigation, but I hope they do. This footage was supposedly taken by a 911 caller and later edited to include his actual 911 call. The caller starts out by saying he's hearing some strange noises in his basement.
I think there's somebody in my house right now. What happened was I was hearing some strange noises coming from my basement. I tried to go down there and see what it was, and I think I saw someone standing in the corner over there.
And this ghostly basement sighting is what supposedly caused him to make the call.
I got it. So I'll show the officer when he gets there.
Look closely, and you will see that this does appear to be a shadowy figure from another time period. I personally see someone from the Victorian age, perhaps a woman with a large dress and oversized hat. He runs upstairs and makes the call after seeing her. Then again, if this video was real, then I don't know how he would have gotten a copy of his own 911 call. I could be wrong, but I think those are private records and generally unobtainable. There are also sound effects that are obviously put over the video once he sees the ghost, so maybe this is just a prank after all. It could be computer effects or even a mannequin. TikToker Smug Puppy is fending off shadow figures again, and these figures have now developed glowing red eyes. They're sneaky and fast, so watch closely.
This one.
No, other side, door.
That one?
No, the door, bedroom door.
Oh.
With the dressing gowns there.
Oh.
There's literally no space there, so...
Okay.
Keys!
Oh my...
They show viewers that there's nothing behind the door.
Nothing there.
Just open the door and show them behind. It's just dressing gown.
Yeah.
Nothing's there, at least nothing that she can see, but a moment later, this happens.
Put the camera back on there, point it back.
There it is. Oh, say.
I told you!
All I can say is, if this is real, I don't think I'd be approaching that room until the demon's been exorcised. Only then would I feel safe in this room. This one took me a few tries before I could see what they were talking about. Watch the shoulder lane on the left, and soon you'll see the shadowy outline of a mysterious figure.
You done it first day?
I have little doubt that this video is real and not edited, so the question becomes whether or not this was an actual spirit. Notice how the figure is devoid of all features, a strong sign of the paranormal, and maybe it's just because they are passing by at a high rate of speed, but I can almost see right through them. The entire lower half of their body is practically invisible. This is purportedly the most haunted house in Guadalajara, Mexico. YouTuber Ricky Velasquez dares to enter, but he will soon regret it. As he tours the place, he spots this.
La noche loca, las personas que estuvieron en esa transmisión. Perro, ¿qué es eso? No mames.
Did you see that figure? As he continues throughout the home, it seems to be stalking him.
Wait, ¿quién eres? Da la vida.
Wherever he goes, it follows.
Pues muéstrate, no seas cobarde. Muéstrate. Muéstrate a la bestia. No mames. No, tranquilo.
Is someone there?
I'm definitely invited.
Ricky keeps hearing noises, like someone is just out of sight.
¿Ha entrado sobre esto? No manches. ¿Qué fue eso?
After hearing humming during a spirit box session, things get wild.
No. Whoa. No.
I think this home is definitely haunted, but by what? I'm not so sure. Look closely and you'll see a tall figure in a black robe looking through the front door of this home. And no, it's not Halloween. It's large and yet at the same time so hard to see that it might be nothing at all. I see it though, and it stands there for a full minute without moving. Beware of the shadows. When at Donovan Mill, the historic mining site in Silver City, Nevada, has a reputation, and it's not a good one. At least one documented incident of someone taking their own life has been recorded there. Perhaps it's the spirit from this unfortunate history that lingers in the mill. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit, Facts by James TV writes, at 24 minutes 30 seconds you could see a shadow-like figure down the hallway at the very same space it is known to be haunted by a spirit named John that is very protective about that area. At the timestamp in question, you can see what James is talking about. He said he felt a presence, so they stopped and shined the flashlight down at the end of the hall. A small shadow figure appears there. Casting light down that way doesn't make it disappear. What do you think about this creepy catch? Would you have the guts to venture down the hall to investigate? This YouTuber didn't notice what he'd captured on camera until he played it back later, and when he saw it, he was scared. Published by Sphinx 2720 in March of 2010, the scary video was taken at Gettysburg. The investigator is standing amongst some boulders at the beginning of the clip. He says the cluster of rocks is called Devil's Den. As he walks around the den, he appears to capture the devil himself. What looks like a large cloaked shadow figure is looming right in front of the den. Another oddity occurs at the beginning of the video and was noted by Akeo Ateo in the comments. As the investigator is getting his bearings with his camera, a dark figure in the distance beyond the nearby rock is spotted lurking past. What is going on here at Gettysburg? Do these figures have anything to do with the area's history? Chelsea Luna and her friend James go ghost hunting in an old haunted tunnel from the 1920s. This creepy shadow figure at 18 minutes and 7 seconds is what they find. Everyone says that this is a real ghost sighting, but I'm pretty sure this alleged apparition is simply Chelsea's finger while pointing at something. You can kind of see the rest of her hand when you look close, a split second before it happens. So I think this scary ghost sighting is an accident and not real. While exploring the abandoned Davutlu village, the YouTube crew from Han Kardisler find they're not alone. One woman comes out of the woodwork.
Ay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Lazım Rabbiniz, bilginiz, bir şeyleriniz var. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Oğlum Leo yanında.
The woman leads them to this strange dark figure hiding behind a corner, but the figure disappears as they approach.
Sen ne yapıyorsun burada ya?
Ben her yerde geziyorum.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Oğlum. Ne oluyor lan? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Gel.
It then reappears in the downstairs window. The mysterious figure appears only as a form, a shadow if you will. While the crazy woman tells the crew something, her silent husband stands by with his back to the camera. The figure has again vanished from sight.
Abi ne oluyor?
Benim sevgilim gel buraya.
Şaka mı bu? Baksana adama nasıl korkar? Çok tuhaf stres. Oğlum bu kafayı yemek şu an. Oh gidiyor.
And then the woman appears to go nuts, shooing them off and even throwing stuff at them.
Ay çok gidin yeter. Hadi.
Abi bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Yeter peşimden gidin. Gelmeyin artık.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Oha adam dışarı çıktı.
After being chased around, they later see the figure in the window again.
Bayram. Orada duruyoruz. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bayram bu ne böyle ya? Kafayı yiyeceğim. Abi.
But it's not any clearer what the figure is. I have no clue what this entity may be, but it seems to me that this old woman might be protecting it from outsiders. I'm not so sure it needs her protection though. This scary doorbell video is from the Chills Narrator subreddit, and it was posted by Tay Harley Quinn. They say their camera has never acted weird before, but for some reason this mysterious shadow figure, transparent and paranormal, is traveling at a high rate of speed behind a truck at random. Some people say this is a person on a bike, while others say it's somebody running, but most agree that this video is paranormal from the looks of it. A small number of people say that this is a glitch, but fail to go into much explanation, even though I would like to hear more. Until then, I think this could be a real ghost sighting caught on home security camera. The CCTV was taken at an office building at around 2:30 in the morning. It was noticed immediately by security because the camera only turns on when something moves. A shadowy mass starts at floor level, stops for a second, and then quickly scales up the wall, possibly continuing on to move through the ceiling itself, all while leaving no visible form of entry or making a sound. I don't know what object would have made this strange oval shadow take shape, and neither do the security guards. I think there's a strong chance that this is paranormal, but if not, leave me your best guess as to what this possibly could have been. A woman feels sorry for her cat because it recently lost its best friend. She begins recording a Snapchat after she notices her cat is meowing, like it's looking for its companion, and feels sorry for the little guy. That's when she accidentally records something terrifying. The head of a shadow figure peeks out from the foot of her bed just before her Snapchat ends. Her only remaining cat is all white, so that's not it, and nobody else is in the house with her. The size of this shadow figure's head looks small, more like an animal than a person, so maybe this was the cat she recently lost, which happens to be a black cat by the way. To me, it looks like it wants to climb into bed with her, just like it always has, and perhaps the other cat was meowing not out of loneliness, but because its friend is back again. Seeing how she claims to have felt watched all week, I'd say it's a strong possibility. This YouTuber is exploring a scary abandoned place in India when their adventure goes wrong at 6 minutes and 30 seconds. It looks like a real ghost sighting at first, but somebody walks right in front of a light, so that could be what's making the shadow figure appear. Still, it's bizarre enough to make them leave, and when they look back, they see a ghost in the window. The light passes by the window one time, doubles back, and there it is, another ghost sighting. Look again though, and you'll see it was actually standing in the window the entire time. This could be a shadow person, a djinn, or one of their friends wearing a cloak. They claim it was a ghost, but I'm not sure. A YouTube channel called Jaeger Expective is partying at a rental home. They soon suspect is haunted after running some experiments. According to them, these motion-activated lights don't turn on unless someone is in the room, yet the lights come on here when the room is empty.
Isn't that censored?
I think the lights might turn on whenever the door opens though, because when you watch it again, that's pretty much exactly what happens. So they could be wrong about the lights, but next they hear a faint sound from far away. It sounds like one of those really old-fashioned phones that used to have an actual bell on top.
Everybody has their phones, right?
Everyone decides to talk about it again in the morning, and they go to bed, or at least they try. Strange sounds continue throughout the night, stuff that's hard to catch on camera, like a single footstep and nothing else. In the morning, they all still have a bad feeling and feel what they describe as a chilly vibe permeating every room. Jaeger does a quick recording of every room in the house and picks up this figure, which I think could just be his reflection in a mirror, or maybe not. This orphanage turned satanic church holds a lot of secrets. The team was lured to the place after seeing a shadow figure in footage captured by urban explorers in the building. Watch the dark passage.
You saw a shadow figure in that video, and you sent it over to me, and I was like, no doubt that that's a shadow figure. So we definitely know that shadow figures are here roaming about. But also another thing is
now it's Ghost Club Paranormal's turn to find the truth. Upon entering the haunted cult house, they discover some disturbing imagery.
Like, literally, I've not...
Be careful, don't be around that thing that's from people shooting. It's working cool.
Oh.
When they pull out their EMF meter, they get a jumpy reading.
We are getting... I literally... Okay, I mean, for a building with absolutely zero electricity, that makes no sense. If there's anybody...
They also capture an EVP.
Yes.
Later, their REM pod is triggered.
Kidding me?
And shortly after, what sounds like footsteps are heard.
Hey, Cam. I just heard footsteps right behind me.
Then they get a clear answer from the spirits.
We need to make clear contact with you right now if you're here with us. If you want to communicate with us, that's what we need. Oh my god, it's going off, it's going off. Shine your light up there.
And it's not long before they see them too. Watch the shadows in the hallway beyond.
Totally fine talking to us as well.
Do you see the shape-shifting shadow whip through? I sure did. After that, the crew is given the fright of their lives.
Just in case something does happen. Wow. Okay.
I am definitely feeling the terrifying energy in this house, but whether it's the young ghost congregants or Satan himself is anyone's guess. While exploring an abandoned house, make note of what happens in your periphery. Published in March of 2021, the footage you're about to see was recorded in France around 11 p.m. as a pair of paranormal investigators round the corner of a dark, empty room. They discover that it isn't empty after all. Just beyond a picture that's leaning against the wall, a figure moves quickly out of sight as the light falls upon it. It happens so fast that it's difficult to see what the figure even is, but it appears as though it's crouched slightly as it rises up before pulling out of view. The two-man crew approaches the hallway to investigate, but there's nothing there. Did it somehow soundlessly disappear into one of these rooms? Or as we suspect, did it disappear into thin air? A group of friends are exploring an abandoned house, but they get no further than the front door before they get freaked out by a possible ghost sighting. According to the description, if you look closely at the right side of the window, you'll see a shadow figure looking at them. Take a look at what they've caught on tape and tell me if you see a shadow figure on the right.
Right there.
No, that's a shadow, that's shadow, that's shadow.
Exactly.
Pega ya al teléfono.
At first, I thought they were maybe talking about this shadowy figure down here, which is on the right like they say, but I'm pretty sure that's the shadow of the person holding the camera, and what could be a glowing eye is actually light from their camera too. Also, the person in a red shirt who sees the shadow figure is pointing in an entirely different direction. Like I said, I don't see anything paranormal in this video, but every single person in the comments says there is a shadow figure caught on camera if you look close enough. Just because I don't see it doesn't mean one isn't there. Somebody help me out because I want to know what they are looking at. When you do see it, apparently it's really scary. Oftentimes, we see movements out of the corner of our eye, and we think we're imagining things. What if we aren't? Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Kid Blast Double. This clip got Redditors up in arms. The video shows someone entering their backyard with their dog, but check out the fence beyond. A shadow figure can clearly be seen fleeting across the yard. It arrives behind the tree and doesn't move beyond. Apart from slightly peeking from around the tree, which can be seen on the close-up of the clip. The top comment was from Redditor Dads for Sons, who said he'd watched the clip on repeat a million times, and his first reaction was whoa, the slow-mo gives him the chills, he says. In response, Redditor Paul VS88 points out that the OP, Big Pappy Thunder, said, honestly didn't think anyone would get it, or that it would somehow get nearly 7,000 upvotes, but here we are. Figured I'd bamboozle maybe 5 people, then take it down for a laugh. Redditors with a sense of humor had a laugh about it. Tactius Kilgore writes, the shadow people have him and are in control of his Reddit account. There was one oddity in the video that was unedited, however, the thing peeking, but Thunder thinks that it was more likely a light from far away or from the yard behind than the shadow ghost that he'd edited into the footage. Still, this video will likely have you second guessing the next thing you see out of the corner of your eye. When you have video proof from not 1, but 3 angles, it's hard for paranormal deniers to say it's all in your head. Posted by one Ocelot4 to the Ghosts subreddit. The Redditor caught the strange shadow in his kitchen on a security camera. He said the window shutters were down and nothing in the kitchen was turned on. He also mentioned in the comments that he sometimes feels cold spots in the hallway, and his security camera often goes off when he leaves the house. Whether you believe in the paranormal or not, the following footage is hard to explain. The clip shows a large, dark shadow flash past, falling over the kitchen entryway for just a moment. Not only has the uploader captured this footage from one vantage point, but he has all 3 cameras on it, and they all show the creepy shadow flicker past. What in the world could be creating this terrifying effect? Those in the comments have plenty of theories. Redditor Mr. Mesquite says it's obviously a ghost writing. Very harmless unless you are harmed. Good luck. Well, many note that it could be something casting the shadow from outside through the windows. The Redditor reiterates that the shades are closed. So who do you choose to believe? Is there a practical explanation? Or should this Redditor bring in a medium and scope out the situation? As another Redditor suggests, whatever happens, I don't think I'd be entering that kitchen for a while. This house guest is eternal. Published by Jojo Owens in February of 2022, Jojo explains that he, his wife, and several guests in his home had witnessed a shadow-like movement in the living room out of the corner of their eyes. That's why when Owens heard a noise in the back room one night while his wife was sleeping, he set up his phone camera to record. This is what he captured. A tall, shadowy figure is seen moving across the lit doorway at the end of the room. After witnessing this, Owens grabbed his phone camera to investigate, but turned up nothing. Neither was there anything in the room that might cast this shadow. Although one commenter suggested that there may be someone squatting in the Owens home, Owens said this has been going on for 3 years, so it's highly unlikely. To whom does this shadow belong then? An urban exploration and paranormal investigation channel called SCPC Ghost makes a video about an abandoned house in Colton, California for no reason other than he thinks it looks interesting enough to record on camera. He videos the outside of the house from some different angles for a while and then decides it's time to explore the inside. The inside is well lit, and yet there is a mysterious moving shadow that may or may not be paranormal. The shadow goes away, and that's when he hears a soft, creepy noise.
Hello? Anybody here?
Nobody responds, and so he decides to fully investigate the abandoned house for evidence of the paranormal. In the kitchen, he records what could be a small pale ghost sighting in the window. In the back of the abandoned house, he finds what could be a secret room. On the other side of this brick wall, there's an opening that's too small to climb through, but small enough to drop food into, like someone was held captive.
It's crazy. What's going on?
And the marks on this door shown at 2 minutes likewise look like someone tried to claw their way out. It's a small search, and he's about to leave when he realizes there's one final creepy dark room to explore for paranormal evidence. He does not get a single step inside before he finds out this abandoned house is not so abandoned after all.
It's nothing. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
A voice in the darkness scares him, and he does not look inside to see who it belongs to. Had he checked, he might have found the room was empty, and that the woman's voice was nothing more than an EVP caught on camera. Instead, he sidesteps into the other room and, in doing so, accidentally records a mysterious moving shadow figure on the way out.
Just taking some pictures of the property. I'll be out here in a second, alright? Scared me.
I don't know if this is a paranormal ghost encounter or a woman who is going through hard times and trying to hide. All I know is that a voice doesn't have to sound scary to be terrifying, at least not when it's coming from the darkest corners of this sad little abandoned home.
Show me.
While house sitting for his aunt, Reddit user Notel4117 saw something on a nanny cam that freaked him out. First, he shows us the room in question.
So this is my aunt's son's room. Right? There's no one in here. Right? Nothing.
Then he shows us what he saw.
Right on the monitor here. Tell me that doesn't look like someone standing in the room. Like...
Does it look like something standing in the room to you?
Like I've checked, like, went back and forth 3 times, and
He even does a side-by-side to try and make sense of it.
So, okay. Nothing, right? Like, what the f***?
He then sets up the monitor, grabs a ball from another room, and throws it in there to see if anything changes on the monitor.
Okay, alright. There is definitely something in there.
The mysterious figure is still there. Many in the comments think the T-Rex and other items in the room may be casting shapes that create the shadow figure's form. Like others in the thread, I'm thinking it's probably a shitty nanny cam that doesn't capture shadows in their subtleties. So many objects in the room are coming together to make what looks like a figure. After all, the camera did make the T-Rex look like a terrifying baby. A man finally feels like he's caught paranormal evidence of his haunted basement.
Guys, I'm just cooking some food, watching the game today. I was just down in my basement, and the scariest thing that happened to me, I was down there and... Holy, did you guys just see that? You guys saw that I just had those plates right there.
When he looks at the home security system, this sweeping shadow figure is what he's caught on tape. I'm not sure what to make of this, because the thought of seeing a shadow person in the basement is really creepy. This shadow figure could be CGI, but the uploader hasn't said a word. If so, do you think it's real? Horatio's wise camera captured something unexpected, a shadow figure. You don't even have to watch closely on this one. The shadow figure appears at the center of the driveway and slowly drifts upward. Well, this could be your usual suspect, a bug. I've seen a lot of bugs on the lens videos, and this one feels different. The shadow is a lot darker for starters, like the absence of light, and the way it slowly drifts is unsettling. It's safe to say that this one's no bug, it's a shadow demon. Are we being possessed by shadowy forces without even knowing it? Posted on Blah Blah's channel in January of 2022. This scary video is trending in the Arabic-speaking YouTube community. The footage shows a woman walking a dirt path along a hillside overlooking a city. She is carrying a bag and she's alone. As the cameraman follows a short way behind, a mysterious and barely visible dark figure comes toward the woman on the path. The shadow figure runs right at the woman, but she doesn't notice it and continues on her way. Did the spirit possess her? Well, this captured our imaginations. As it turns out, after doing some research, I found the video is VFX produced by YouTuber Dark3. Still, the image will prompt you to look over your shoulder the next time you think you're alone. You never know what's behind you until it's too late. These explorers are checking out a haunted church in Britain called St. Botolph's Church, which is said to be guarded by the spirit of a passed away monk. The weather is fine at first, but within a minute of stepping out of the car, it becomes cloudy and gray, as if to signify they do not belong here. Here at 2 minutes and 34 seconds, you can see everyone standing outside as they peruse the cemetery, and it isn't until 2 minutes and 47 seconds that they go inside. With this in mind, tell me how they record this shadow figure walk across the church at 2 minutes and 22 seconds, a full 20 seconds before any of them enter. After setting up a still camera and a spirit box in this haunted apartment's kitchen, Other Side Research captured something unsettling. Watch the left side of the screen. Was that a shadow figure? Let's see it again.
Here you can clearly see something captured in the top left of the screen. It appears just after the spirit box seems to say the word demon. After going over this piece of footage multiple times, none of us can decide what this may have been.
It doesn't look like the usual suspect, an insect, but could it be someone off screen casting this shadow? Without seeing what's going on behind the scenes, I'm hesitant to decide on this one. Amit Daksh has caught some scary activity at the Babina station in India that he thinks could be paranormal. He's filming a train pass by when a shadow figure passes in front of him at 20 seconds. He thinks this could be a real ghost sighting he's caught on tape, but I'm wondering if it's his own shadow under the train's bright lights. Something's weird about the angle though, so maybe it's a real person, or a shadow figure like he claims. Freaky, right? This unexplained shadow was uploaded by a paranormal ghost hunter named K. Owen. I think it could just be a fast-moving insect, especially since this was recorded on a summer night in the South, but according to Kay, this is the spirit of a poltergeist in Kentucky who eventually went on to become quite destructive. If Kay's story is to be believed, then this unexplained shadow is the spirit of a person who took a woman's life in this camper years ago. The deranged paranormal entity would eventually go on to destroy the camper by burning it down just 2 weeks into the paranormal investigation. A YouTuber named Suspect Sky and his wife are convinced that something is waiting for them. Inside of their small closet, Suspect Sky slowly walks up to the closet and flings the door open, prepared for conflict, only to find nothing inside. They are relieved for just a moment, and then decide to get out of the house anyway. Something is still in there waiting for them. They think they can feel its presence, and just want to leave as fast as they can. And when they looked at the video again later, they found out they were absolutely correct. This camera caught movement where there was none, at least upon first glance. Redditor Lexi shares this mysterious video to the paranormal video subreddit. Keep an eye on the back bathroom. Did you see it? Something peeked in and out of the bathroom. And yet, according to the Redditor, no one is in there. Some in the comments think there's a squatter hanging out in the Redditor's ceiling, but to me, this looks pretty clearly like a shadow person. This YouTuber works security at a building that's so haunted, he can't even get past to the elevator without scary stuff happening. It's gotten to the point where he records anywhere he goes because the place is seriously that haunted by paranormal poltergeist activity everywhere. The building has a nice gym room, for example, but it seems the equipment is always in use one way or another. Weird things are always caught on camera moving around on their own when he's out of arm's length.
Para darles una sorpresa a cuando vengan, que no saben que estoy aquí. ¡Hostias!
But it is perhaps this haunted playroom area that sees the most paranormal activity of all. So that's a lot of freaky stuff to have happened, but he's been making videos for years, and I've saved the absolute scariest video for last. You're not going to believe this one because it's that beyond creepy. He lives alone and hears the voices of a family coming from his room.
Vamos a ver. Empiezan a escuchar ruidos aquí estos días.
When he calls into the darkness, he is answered by the shadow person sighting. The dark outline of a shadow moving in the small amounts of light coming through a crack in the door.
Hostia, la luz.
There's no doubt that somebody was in there with him, but was it planned, or was it a real ghost sighting caught on video? I think when you look at all of the paranormal video evidence caught on tape, you'll conclude that this place is really haunted. He could be faking it, but I don't really see how. Also, with barely any views on his videos, I don't see why he would continue for years on end, unless it was really happening to him. A YouTuber in India named Fayaz, the Mizhan, travels to the Kalapalli cemetery at midnight, where a humanoid shadow figure is said to haunt anyone foolish enough to come near. This is the exact moment he accidentally caught a ghost on camera, as his viewers would later point out to him. Something hangs back to watch him under the street lamps. Something strange. You can just barely see the shadow moving away if you watch down by its legs. Considering the infamous haunted graveyard is directly beside him, I think it stands to reason that this shadow is paranormal. Time to break out the sage again. Posted to TikTok by Ratliff Wife, this Ring security footage was captured at around 9:30 p.m. in March of 2022. The video shows the front porch of a home. After a moment, a dark shadow moves across the camera. The shadow reappears several times over the course of a minute. Several bugs appear in the clip, but they are clear. Nothing looks like this shadow. The uploader says their dog was also growling in the room at the time this video was captured. Did it sense something? Some in the comments think so, with Carolyn Mulhall writing, "Pets know, better start praying." And it's true that many people swear that pets seem to have an easier time seeing the paranormal than humans. The shadows are coming for you. Published by ILM and Bono Paranormal in July of 2021. This creepy clip shows you are never as alone as you think. A man is walking through an abandoned building and his camera scans the room. Look carefully in the window pane. A shadow figure passes by, outlined against the glass. It's unclear if the figure is outside walking past or inside being reflected, but all I do know is the cameraman has company. If I were him, I'd be getting out of there ASAP. Have you ever captured something out of the corner of your eye in the woods? Vivian Hoffman shares this mysterious video to Facebook page Kentucky Mysteries. Watch closely. Let's see it again. The video was taken while driving, so it's an unsteady capture, but this still photo gives us a clearer image of the figure. It looks like someone in a long cloak wearing a hat. Though the attire isn't distinct, it looks like clothing from a past time period. The figure looks unnaturally dark, considering it's the middle of the day. I feel like it could be a shadow figure. Many in the comments say the Old Hills Mountains of Kentucky are known to be haunted. Whether a ghost, a skinwalker, or the devil himself, I'm not sure, but this unknowable being definitely makes me nervous. When unexplained shadows fall, your only recourse is to search for an answer. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit, Sammy Sam 1870 writes, "It was 2:06 a.m. and there was no one walking around, nor were there any cars in sight when this mysterious shadow strolled across my security camera. The following day I tried to figure out where it could have came from, but found no explanation. The security camera footage shows a black shadow cast upon the ground, moving across the screen. As the Redditor explained, nothing visible in the area is casting the shadow. So do we have a shadow figure on our hands, or is this just a bug caught at a weird angle? If you think you see someone that others don't, you may be right." Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Christina7658, the Redditor explains that a friend that works at a Subway in South Texas recorded this footage from a security monitor after a coworker kept seeing a cowboy who apparently wasn't really there. The bad quality of the footage is due to the fact that this happened more than 10 years ago. This is what the pair found when they reviewed it. A shadow figure is seen rising from the ground near the entryway. The mist-like figure appears to hover for a moment before making its exit through the window. This has most in the comments freaked out, with Typeractive Audie stating, "You can see his hat. I won't sleep tonight." Other Redditors like JCKCS Mama debunk the all too common insect on the lens theory by stating that the anomaly doesn't appear from the edges of the camera frame, as one might expect a crawling insect to. Instead, it seems to come directly from the ground. Christina also states that the anomaly appears to take on the window tint as it exits the building. She also notes that the worker who kept seeing the cowboy had seen it throughout her entire shift. There used to be another video of her washing dishes, and a black blob like the one in the video is next to her. Although she couldn't find the other video, the combination of events has many leaning towards the paranormal. Others suggest that corruption of the videotape or the camera's hardwire issues could be a more practical explanation. But is that what you're seeing here? You're not the only one waiting for eternity at the DMV. Some have been waiting so long, they've passed away from boredom, literally. Shared by YouTuber El Gap Terror, this scary video is trending in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. The video's original source is unknown. This man may not be waiting at the DMV, but what he captures on camera in a waiting room is strange and unexplained. According to the video, he is waiting for his sister at school when he decides to take a random video. A dark, semi-transparent figure appears right in front of the man recording the footage. Do you see it? How can you explain this? Is the camera's refocusing causing a momentary figure to appear? Or is someone here waiting for their demise? Personally, I wouldn't wait around with it to find out. Redditor Go Bartlett went apartment viewing, and what they spotted in the footage later gave them pause. Watch the walkthrough and see if you can spot it. Did you see it? Keep your eye on the far corner of the room, next to the window. It looks like a tentacle reaches out from the corner of the wall before disappearing a moment later. The Redditors in the comments had some thoughts. Well, the comments on this one are the usual mixed bag. I personally like to think something Stranger Things-esque is living in the walls here. I too would skip this one. Bill Ryan is the leader of Project Camelot, an underground organization tirelessly attempting to uncover secrets on everything, from alien life forms to time control. Since Project Camelot encourages members of top-secret government organizations to blow the whistle on the most sensitive of state secrets, you can only imagine how many people want Bill Ryan gone. That's what makes this interview so creepy. While Bill Ryan calmly explains the inner workings of Project Camelot, a shadowy figure silently leans into the camera shot multiple times.
That you can get kind of caught up in these questions forever and a day and never come out of that.
Some people believe that this is a shadow messenger warning others not to come forward with their secrets. Other people think that this is a sign of constant surveillance on Bill Ryan because of what he knows. I personally think it just might be the reflection of a cameraman's arm, but let me know what you think is going on with this strange background figure. A YouTuber named Maddie Ann thinks she sees something walking around her backyard, so she grabs a camera and a high-powered flashlight and sets out to record it. By the time she gets outside, she doesn't see it anymore, so she starts scanning the yard with her light to see if it will move again. The disfigured and misshapen shadow is what she finds. You can see it peeking from around a tree for a second before ducking back into the darkness. The shadow is not really the right size for a human, and the head appears to be bald and shaped oddly. What's really weird is how the camera captures no features. If this was a person, then you should be able to see more details under the light. After all, the camera is able to pick up the brown color of the tree, so you would think that the person behind it would show some color too. Instead, Maddie Ann passes over a creature with a blank face. I don't think this was one of her friends, though I guess it could be someone wearing a costume with black mesh over the face. If you're hunting for Jinn, you better be prepared. YouTube team HD Adam Paranormal searches for the creatures in this paranormal home, and they find them. The radio first signals that a being stands in this corner. As they continue around the haunted home, they encounter this shadow figure. The shadow disappears, so they try to speak to the spirit. That's when they hear this.
Burada olduğunu farkındayım. Duyuyor musun?
Duyuyorum abi.
İnşallah arkadaşlar mikrofona bu ses geliyordur.
They hear unexplained banging as they search the place.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Gel lan dur. Gel buraya. Gel buraya. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Another bang, and then their sound goes out. Later, a strange rolling sound is heard.
Şöyle.
Yalnız.
And something seems to be playing around with them.
Ya abi. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Duydun mu sesi? Duydum.
Maybe it's this.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Tamam gidin.
Was this figure behind all of this paranormal activity? I'm of the opinion that there are multiple Jinn active here. A YouTube channel called Project Paranormal makes a startling discovery, which, in their mind, confirms the presence of a shadow figure haunting their house. The mysterious shadow figure could just be someone walking behind the camera, but it's weird how the shadow doesn't really change shape in the doorway. It should get smaller or disappear in the doorway because of the added depth, but like I said, it doesn't seem to change much at all.